world. Love, love, love. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thirsty.
That when you go to a hotel, anytime you go to a hotel, you don't just check in the way everybody else does. You send someone ahead to prepare the hotel room for you.
It's called preparing the.
Preparing the.
Yeah.
What's preparing the?
I mean, when I walk in, I definitely take pride in being the originator of the preparation of the.
Through the garden area, and employees led us to underground tunnels. We had to take an elevator and stairs. We had to be led. There is no way that you can just walk into a tunnel.
So according to CNN, the feds just found so disturbing new footage from Diddy's freak-offs, and it's so bad that he's looking at a life sentence in prison. Now we've been hearing stories about these freak-offs ever since Cassie's lawsuit hit the fan, but after this, calling them freak-offs doesn't even feel right anymore. Based on what's in this new footage, those weren't just wild parties. They were straight-up nightmares where Diddy allegedly forced his victims into some sick and twisted situations. On top of that, we're now hearing some new reports about what the feds found at Diddy's properties during those raids back in March. Stuff like rooms filled with creepy supplies like gallons of baby oil and IV fluids to a whole collection of tapes showing some type of rituals. And now Hollywood is in full-on panic mode because these tapes allegedly have some big names on them. We're talking Jay-Z, Beyoncé, Ellen, Oprah, Clive Davis, and even some high-ranking government people.
We'll say is at one particular party, lots of big names. There was an artist there who said, hey, Lecrae, around 1 a.m., make sure you're not here. You just don't want to be here at 1 in the morning.
Freak-off supplies. So apparently the feds had been quietly watching Diddy for a while, and when they finally raided his homes, the stuff they found there was so much worse than anyone expected. And besides those 1,000 bottles of baby oil, word on the street is that the feds found rooms upon rooms of some weird adult toys, creepy costumes, masks, and things that seem like they came straight from a horror film. Think Eyes Wide Shut vibes, but taken to an extreme. But the real horror is that sources say the feds found specially designed rooms, each one with hidden cameras from multiple angles. And some of these rooms were allegedly soundproof. Now, why would you need multiple soundproof rooms unless something disturbing and illegal was happening inside? And if you think that's bad, it gets even darker, and it looks like this is turning into another Epstein case. So the feds reportedly found thousands of freak-off tapes of Diddy and his powerful industry friends doing unthinkable things, and it's way worse than you can imagine. Sick tapes exposed.
He's selling his own evidence that would put him in jail against him on the dark net to the highest bidder. Why would he sell evidence of his debauchery and savagery? Why would he sell on the dark net his tapes of just terrible? Wanna know why? Because he doesn't intend to stand trial.
So when the feds raided Diddy's properties, they reportedly found whole rooms filled with tapes. And when the names on these tapes are released, let's just say it's gonna turn the whole entertainment industry upside down. Allegedly, Jay-Z and Beyoncé are caught on these tapes, and also Diddy's longtime industry friends like Usher, Meek Mill, Rick Ross, French Montana.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friend. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
This is a special birthday for both of us.
Yeah.
And it's not just music artists. Actors like Cuba Gooding Jr., Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hanks, and a whole bunch of other A-listers and Oscar winners, and even some huge Hollywood directors, they're all said to be on those tapes doing not just weird, but allegedly illegal acts.
This is creepy.
Look at them. Sweet, pretty losers, every one of them.
We're talking about crocus, right? Make daddy love you. And sexy baby. Sexy baby. Right, get up. Earn it.
And if that wasn't enough, let's talk about the politicians. Word on the street is that some high-ranking figures in government are also on those freak-off tapes. Rumors are flying that senators, governors, and even some presidential candidates have been attending Diddy's freak-offs for years. Now, you already know that these people will do anything to keep their names out of this mess. And since Diddy has now been placed on suicide watch, there's talk that these big-name government people will pull an Epstein on him, if you know what I mean.
Sean Diddy Combs on
Side watch at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center after 2 judges denied his request for bail. This as a grand jury is expected to hear new testimony from workers very soon.
2 workers are sharing their encounters with Diddy with the feds. We're also hearing that Diddy has a target on his back while he is behind bars here at the Metropolitan Detention Center.
And here's the craziest part. Sources say the feds are still going through all the footage. Allegedly, these new tapes they're going through show people passed out, others clearly unable to consent. And the absolute worst part is that some of the victims reportedly don't even look like they're grown adults. So with all this stacked against Diddy, it's no surprise that he's been placed on the watch. But here's the thing. Sources close to the case are saying there's no way Diddy is going down alone, and those tapes are apparently about to drag many powerful people with him. And now some wild new reports are starting to surface, exposing another similarity between Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein. So sources are saying both of them had these huge complex networks of underground tunnels under their properties, and you can only imagine what sinister purpose those tunnels were built for. Underground tunnels.
These tunnels were already there when he bought the mansion, and it's just now being reported, and a lot of people are saying that P. Diddy allegedly used these tunnels for trafficking, if you know what I mean. Now, you know, this right here is very shocking to a lot of people, but like I said, the mansion was bought with the grotto and the underground swimming pool, you know, the tunnel that's up under the mansion already there.
Diddy's been hit with all kinds of crazy accusations over the years, but this story about underground tunnels takes things to a whole new level. So according to these latest reports, Diddy supposedly has a whole system of tunnels under his mansion, designed to move people around. Allegedly, he would take his victims down there and do all types of twisted things to them. But Diddy isn't the only name being tied to these rumored tunnels. Turns out his LA mansion is just a short walk from the Playboy mansion, and word is spreading that these 2 houses are connected by an underground tunnel network. So according to a report by the Los Angeles Times, Diddy's mansion comes with an underwater swimming tunnel leading to a grotto. He bought this mansion back in 2014 for $40 million, and allegedly, he specifically asked for the property to be close to Hugh Hefner's famous Playboy mansion. And word on the street is that those tunnels were built with high-tech security and designed to keep whatever was going on down there hidden from the outside world. Sources claim that the tunnels connect to key locations where Diddy could meet up with powerful figures from the industry like A-list actors, musicians, music executives, and allegedly even some people in the government.
But hey, it's hole in the ground is better than no hole in the ground.
And what do you tell them about this pit? I mean, you just say this is the beginning of this idea.
Yes.
We're going to build tunnels under LA to help funnel traffic better. And they go, and they just go, okay. We've joked around about this in the podcast before. That like, what other person can go to the people that run the city and go, hey, I'm going to dig some holes underground, put some tunnels in there, and they go, oh yeah, okay.
Nothing wrong with a hole in the ground.
But it's
people dig holes in the ground all the time.
But my question is, like, I know how much time you must be spending on your Tesla factory. I know how much time you must be spending on SpaceX, and yet you still have time to dig holes under the ground in LA and come up with these ideas and then implement them. Like,
I got a million ideas.
I'm sure you do.
There's no shortage of that. Yeah.
I just don't know how you manage your time. I don't understand it. It doesn't even seem humanly possible.
Now, let's talk about what those tunnels were allegedly used for. There are rumors of everything from substance-fueled parties to shady business deals, and even darker, more disturbing acts involving young people. Basically, think of every kind of depravity imaginable going down in those tunnels. And there's this one anonymous tipster who claims to have worked on one of Diddy's properties, who allegedly found a tunnel entrance during renovations. And apparently, the feds knew exactly where to look when they raided Diddy's mansion back in March. Meanwhile, social media users are pointing out that Diddy's LA mansion is just a short walk from the Playboy mansion, and some are even speculating that these rumored tunnels connect the 2 properties.
Wait, am I the only one that didn't know there were secret tunnels in the Playboy mansion? I literally just heard because like they were talking about Diddy and how the tunnels lead from the Playboy mansion to Diddy's house or whatever. But I'm like, when did the Playboy mansion get secret tunnels? And then I get on the good old Googler, and lo and behold, there's blueprints of the tunnels that are under the Playboy mansion. So apparently this was like built in the 1970s. Somebody needs to let me know where I've been because I literally had no idea. And look, I guess like the house is up here, obviously, but where is this going? And where does this lead to? And honestly, it was giving detective for a moment because I had to figure it out after they said, oh, Diddy's house Playboy Mansion, Hugh Hefner, whatever. So I put in the address and they're only 4 minutes away from each other. So that walk is nothing. I mean, if the tunnels are leading right there, that's nothing. So what was going on in them tunnels? The more you know. This is crazy. And apparently this is one of the houses that the Playboy Mansion tunnels lead to, but what in the world? I swear to God, I didn't know one thing. Who else has tunnels? And what else do we don't know? You know, I know that they say 2024 is gonna be like the year of like truth and revealing, but like, God damn, this is a lot. This is a lot.
Now it's no secret that Diddy was a regular at Hugh Hefner's house back in the day, and of course Diddy threw his own parties at his place next door. You'd see everyone there. Big names from the music industry and Hollywood, real estate moguls, sports team owners, Silicon Valley CEOs, the list goes on. But it's not these regular celeb parties we need to worry about, it's those secret after parties where only Diddy's closest friends were invited.
Where's Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party.
Uh-huh.
It'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then no, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them.
So rumor has it that once the main party wrapped up, a few special guests were invited to these underground gatherings, and that's where things took a very dark turn. Now, you've probably heard stories about Diddy allegedly preying on young artists, recording them during freak-offs, and using those recordings to keep them under his control. Well, one name that keeps popping up in all this is Justin Bieber. So it turns out Homeland Security has allegedly found some extremely disturbing footage of Justin at Diddy's underground after parties. While Justin still hasn't publicly addressed these claims, word on the street is that he's been in communication with the feds. Now, if you've seen those bizarre videos of young Justin with Diddy and then looking at how Justin acts these days, you can't help but wonder what happened to Justin back then. And here's another shocking twist. So there was this late comedian Trevor Moore who allegedly tried to raise alarms about Justin and claimed Justin was sold to Diddy. But sadly, nobody took Trevor seriously at the time, and he died in 2021 after mysteriously falling from his balcony. What's even more creepy is that an old Comedy Central sketch Trevor created recently resurfaced online, and in this sketch, a young pop star who looks a lot like Justin sings about being sold to a powerful producer and being forced into some bizarre rituals.
One time in Belarus, they beat me with phone books so that I wouldn't bruise. I just can't take no more rich kids' bar mitzvahs or paid sleepovers with Saudi princes. Blinked SOS and Morse code. Once at the VMAs, they sprayed me with a hose in a pit for 3 days.
And there's one scene in the sketch that stands out where the producer starts rapping about how he's the pop star's father figure, and the singer is seen crying out for help and saying, "Call the police."
God, what y'all talking about? Don't think of me as a record exec, but a father figure and pal. This kid's a real prankster. This is one of his practical jokes. Thank you for your concern, but there's nothing to see here, folks. That's just exhaustion talking. Poor little guy's tuckered out. I'll take him back to the tour bus and we'll get him straightened out.
But it gets even creepier. Near the end of the song, the singer again desperately begs for help and says they will sacrifice him to Baphomet. Now, Now, to give you some context, Baphomet is a figure found in the occult and folklore and allegedly worshipped by the Knights Templar. And now check out what Cat Williams had to say about the rumored Baphomet rituals in the entertainment industry.
Everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's not.
That is a weird thing.
It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Look at it. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully. That's how you understand what a ritual is. So 20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was going to be a thing. It wasn't because I was a prophet. It's just I had gotten so much information that I understood that things are secular. So I understood that the earliest I had seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender. And so I knew that in the ritual of Baphomet, the transgender, to show allegiance to him, you had to kiss his ring.
Really?
And it said both of those things. So I knew that both of those things would become popular in the future.
So as you can imagine, fans are now drawing connections between this and the rumors about Diddy's alleged involvement in dark rituals. And some are saying that those freak-off sessions weren't just depraved parties, but carefully planned rituals. You probably remember how Cassie said in her lawsuit that Diddy would put in a lot of effort to plan and set up these freak-offs. According to Cassie, he would even arrange candles and force her and the ex-workers to wear some type of masks. And then Diddy would sit down and personally record the whole thing on camera while instructing the ex-workers what to do. As one fan on X said, the way it was described in the lawsuit about Diddy filming Cassie on multiple devices, adjusting the candles and wearing masks while she was, sounds like some ex-cult ritual-ish. I think he was filming to show other rich elites. And then we also need to mention celebrity medium Sloan Bella, because she shared this viral video on her YouTube channel months before Cassie even filed her lawsuit. And in this video, Sloan claimed that many powerful men in the industry are harvesting energy during these rituals involving young people. Sloan even alleged that Diddy's ex-girlfriend Kim Porter witnessed some disturbing rituals at Diddy's parties, and Kim allegedly wanted to expose everything in her tell-all book
about what she witnessed, and they are dumbing it down to the fact that they think that P. Diddy is on some kind of spree for removing people who speak about this because he's gay. That is not the issue. There are gay people, but what we're talking about here is ritualistic deviancy used to harness energy of a human being. Ritualized, thought out, planned specifically to rip the person down and hide behind their energy. We all like that. But what if we're talking about a religion that hides behind the energy of the most innocent on this planet, who are lit up energetically because it hasn't been broken?
And then Sloan mentioned Justin Bieber and hinted that he was probably targeted for those energy harvesting rituals, which is probably why he seems so broken these days.
Over here, we know Bieber was famous as a teenager and all of that. How do you think he got that way? Because they harnessed his energy and presented him while him, the self, is broken. He is broken and a shell of himself because he has lost his sense of self. They stole that. That is what they wear.
And now word on the street is that Homeland Security found a stash of audio and video footage that might confirm what Sloan Bella was saying about Kim and those rituals with young people. And if the rumors about Kim trying to expose all of this are true, it makes you wonder what really happened to Kim and if there's more to her sudden passing. But another big question is who else enabled Diddy's crimes and took part in those rumored rituals? Well, let's just say the list of high-profile people supposedly linked to Diddy's tunnels and ritual parties is insane. It allegedly includes all the biggest names in the industry, from the likes of Jay-Z and Oprah to Ellen DeGeneres, and even Diddy's 92-year-old mentor Clive Davis.
A lot of people are curious about the status of P. Diddy. What? P. Diddy. Diddy.
Like puppy. This guy is a puppy.
What do you make of that situation? All right. No comment from Clive Davis on P. Diddy. Mr. Davis, you're a major influence on the career of P. Diddy. Have you spoken to him since the federal raid? Have you spoken to Sean Combs? Any comment, Mr. Davis? Any comments about Diddy? He credits you as one of his mentors.
By the way, Diddy's former bodyguard Gene Deal recently called out Oprah, her BFF Gayle King, and Jay-Z for staying silent about the allegations against Diddy. Gene pointed out that these are the same people who ran in circles with convicted offenders like Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein, and yet they stayed completely silent about their crimes. At the same time, Oprah was the first one to go after people like Michael Jackson, who was never actually convicted of anything.
They not gonna say nothing. Man, I was watching the other day. Listen to me. They did that, they on Channel 2 News here in New York. Gayle King and Nate and that other guy, they were talking about, they showed him beating Cassie, and they showed him the apology and the whole 9 yards. All they said is that we have commentary about that, but we got to go to a commercial. They never came back and said nothing about it. I was like, damn, he still got power like that? Somebody still like him like that? Because you know he was running with Oprah and them. He was running with that whole crew. Weinstein, Oprah, Epstein, he was running with that whole crew. They want to know how we're going to do it. How the public is going to take him. Is the public going to let him back in? And the public is not. The public is already canceling him. I don't believe the industry has canceled him yet. All those people who went to those Diddy parties, not one of them had came out and denounced what he has done. I haven't heard one of them. I have not heard one person denounce, well, man, let God handle it. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here with that. If that was your daughter, would you let God handle it? All those people, they ain't denounced him. They ain't definitely, they can't come forward and say, yo, I support him. Because it would mess up their brand. It would mess up their brand. Jay-Z, we the only one could call each other Sean. Jay is the only one could call me Sean. I'm the only one could call him Sean. Get the hell out of here. If that ain't no fun boy stuff. But you ain't had not one person, brother, not one person sit there and denounce what he did or come forward and say, I support him.
So with all these disturbing allegations surrounding Diddy's rumored underground tunnels and those freak-off tapes, social media is buzzing with theories, and hashtags like #DiddyTunnels and #HollywoodSecrets are trending. And fans are convinced that Diddy is just a pawn in a much bigger game and that the entire Hollywood is involved in something sinister. As for Diddy's fate, the latest reports are saying there's no way he'll escape this mess, and legal experts predict he will never see the light of day again. Life in prison for Diddy. So legal sources are saying Diddy might be staring down life in prison, and it's wild to imagine that this man until recently lived a lavish lifestyle full of private jets and every type of luxury is now about to trade it all for a prison cell. And according to the latest reports, Diddy's already struggling to adjust. I mean, this would be tough on anyone, but for a narcissist like Diddy, you already know he's losing it in there. It was also just confirmed that Diddy is now on suicide watch at the Brooklyn jail. And according to the New York Post, while Diddy's mental state is unclear, they placed him on the watch as a preventative measure. And of course, it didn't take long before people again started comparing Diddy's situation to Jeffrey Epstein's case. Remember how Epstein was found dead in his cell after he supposedly took his own life? Yeah, that story never sat right with anyone. We know Epstein had secrets on everyone, including some of the most powerful people in the world, and he was reportedly running a huge blackmail operation behind closed doors. And now with Diddy facing a similar fate, people want to know who else was involved in this mess, because there might be some influential people out there who will do anything to make sure Diddy doesn't snitch on them. So let's hear your thoughts on this. Is Diddy just the fall guy for even bigger fish? Who do you think will be the next big name to get caught up in this? Drop your comments below and stay tuned for this next video.